Happiness is something we all chase. Some people spend their whole lives trying to find it in money, relationships, or success. But no matter how much they get, something always feels missing. It's like drinking salt water. The more you have, the thirstier you become. But what if the answer was never in those things at all? What if real happiness was hidden in a place we've forgotten? The ancient Stoics understood this truth, and their wisdom has lasted for centuries. They knew that happiness was never about what we own, but about how we live, how we think, and how we trust in something greater than ourselves. God has given us everything we need to live a good life, but we often look in the wrong direction. We try to control everything, chase things that don't last, and worry about a future that is not in our hands. But the moment we let go of this struggle, something powerful happens. We find peace. God does not want us to live in fear or be trapped by endless desires. He wants us to live with wisdom, with faith, and with strength, no matter what happens around us. This is what the Stoics knew, and this is what we must remember. Don't skip this video, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see happiness forever. What the ancient Stoics knew is something we have forgotten, but it's not too late to bring it back into our lives. Keep watching, because the truth is simpler than you think. We have been taught to believe that happiness comes from what we have. A bigger house, a better job, more money, more recognition. This is what the world tells us we need. But why is it that so many people who have everything still feel empty? No matter how much they gain, they always want more. This is because happiness that depends on external things never lasts. The Stoics understood this long ago. They knew that chasing happiness in wealth, status, or comfort is like chasing the wind. It slips through your fingers the moment you think you have it. Look around. The world is full of people who are rich but miserable, successful but anxious, surrounded by friends yet feeling completely alone. Why? Because their happiness is controlled by things they cannot hold on to. But true happiness does not come from the outside. It comes from within. The moment we stop tying our joy to things that can be lost, we become free. The Stoics knew this truth, but we have forgotten it. We are searching for happiness in places where it will never be found. It's time to remember what they knew and start looking in the right place. Life is unpredictable. No matter how hard we try, we cannot control everything. We cannot control what people think of us, what happens tomorrow, or even the smallest events that shape our day. Yet, most of our suffering comes from trying to control things that are simply not in our hands. This is why so many people are stressed, anxious, and frustrated. They are fighting a battle they can never win. But the Stoics understood something powerful. Peace comes when we learn the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. What can we control? Our actions, our thoughts, our attitude, nothing else. The moment we accept this, life becomes lighter. We stop wasting energy worrying about things beyond our power. Instead, we focus on what truly matters, our choices, our discipline, our mindset. Imagine how different life would be if we stopped stressing over things we cannot change and put that energy into becoming stronger, wiser, and more at peace. This is the secret the Stoics lived by, and it is something we have forgotten. But if we remember this, we will finally understand what real happiness feels like. Desire is a never-ending hunger. The moment one wish is fulfilled, another takes its place. A new car, a bigger house, more followers, more success. It never stops. No matter how much is gained, something always feels missing. This is the trap that keeps people chasing, always running toward happiness but never reaching it. The Stoics understood that uncontrolled desire is the root of suffering. It creates restlessness, making people believe they need more to be happy when, in reality, happiness is found in wanting less. A person who always wants more will never be satisfied, but someone who is content with what they have is already rich. The key is to recognize that most desires are not real needs. They are illusions created by comparison, by society, by a mind that believes happiness comes from having instead of being. The moment this truth is understood, life becomes lighter. Gratitude replaces greed. Peace replaces craving. The Stoics did not chase after more. They mastered the art of enough. And in that simplicity they found a happiness that many have forgotten. A person who has everything but is never satisfied is poorer than someone who has little but feels rich inside. Happiness is not about owning more. It is about how the mind sees what is already there. The Stoics knew that true joy does not come from things, but from perspective. The way a person thinks shapes the way they feel. If the mind always searches for what is missing, life will always feel incomplete. But if it focuses on what is present, contentment becomes natural. Imagine waking up each day and feeling grateful instead of lacking, seeing problems as lessons instead of burdens, accepting what cannot be changed instead of wishing for something different. This shift in mindset changes everything. Wealth, status, and possessions will never bring peace if the mind is restless, but a calm and steady mind can turn even the simplest life into a joyful one. The Stoics did not rely on the outside world to bring them happiness. They built it within themselves, and that is why their wisdom still stands today, while so many remain lost in the search for something they already have but do not see. Life is full of challenges. Plans fail, setbacks happen, and unexpected problems appear when least expected. It is easy to feel defeated, to believe that difficulties are barriers to happiness, but the Stoics saw things differently. They believed that every obstacle carries an opportunity. A failure is not the end. It is a lesson. A hardship is not a curse, it is a chance to grow stronger. Nothing that happens is purely good or bad. It all depends on how it is seen and how it is used. When faced with difficulty, there are two choices: resist it and suffer, or accept it and learn. Struggles shape character. Pain builds strength. A mind that welcomes challenges instead of fearing them becomes unbreakable. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening?" it is better to ask, "What can this teach me?" Every problem is a hidden opportunity. The Stoics mastered this mindset, and because of it, they remained steady no matter what life threw at them. This is the kind of strength that leads to true happiness. Not a life without problems, but a mind that knows how to face them. Regret pulls the mind back into the past. Fear pushes it into the future, but happiness is found only in the present moment. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that dwelling on what is gone or worrying about what is yet to come only steals the peace that exists now. The past cannot be changed, and the future cannot be controlled. The only thing that is real is this moment, and yet many spend their lives anywhere but here. To live in the present is to be fully aware of what is happening now. It means letting go of past mistakes and trusting that the future will unfold as it should. A mind that is always elsewhere will never find peace, but a mind that stays in the present sees life clearly, without fear or regret. The Stoics practice this daily. They know that each moment is a gift, and wasting it on things that cannot be changed or controlled is the fastest way to lose happiness. The key is simple. Stop chasing a future that does not exist yet and start living the only time that truly matters, right now. Holding on too tightly to things beyond control creates suffering, whether it is people, opinions, success, or the past. The more attachment there is, the more pain it brings. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes not from controlling everything, but from letting go. Expectations, worries, and fears lose their power when they are released. Happiness is not found in having a perfect life, but in being at peace with whatever comes. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means understanding what is worth the effort and what is not. Some things can be changed, others cannot. Time should not be wasted on the impossible. A mind that is free from unnecessary burdens is light, calm, and steady. There is no fear of loss because there is no desperate attachment. When something goes away, it was never truly needed. When something stays, it is appreciated, not clung to. The Stoics lived with this wisdom, and because of it, they were never controlled by fear, regret, or disappointment. They did not hold on to things that could not be kept. They let go, and in doing so, they found real freedom. Happiness is not something that happens by accident. It is a habit, a way of thinking, a daily practice. The Stoics understood that the mind, like the body, needs training. Without reflection, it is easy to get lost in distractions, to react without thinking, and to live without direction. But taking a few moments each day to pause, to look within, and to reset the mind can change everything. Journaling, meditation, or even a few quiet moments before sleep can bring clarity. The day's mistakes can be lessons, and the day's successes can be reminders of growth. Reflection helps in understanding what truly matters and what is only noise. Without it, days pass without purpose, and time is wasted on things that do not bring real happiness. The Stoics made this practice a part of their lives, and because of it, they stayed grounded, focused, and at peace. Life is busy, but a few moments of awareness each day can bring more wisdom and joy than years spent chasing things that do not last. Happiness does not come from outside, it is built from within, one thought, one reflection at a time. Happiness was never meant to be found in wealth, status, or endless desires. It is not something to chase, it is something to create. The Stoics understood this truth. They knew that real happiness comes from controlling the mind, accepting what cannot be changed, and living fully in the present. The world has forgotten this wisdom, but it is not lost. It is still here, waiting to be remembered and practiced. Life will always have challenges, but the way they are faced makes all the difference. Strength, peace, and true joy come from within. This is the lesson the Stoics lived by, and it is one that still holds power today. If this video helped you see life differently, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And if you have faced struggles or learned valuable lessons through them, share your story in the comments. Your journey might inspire someone else. Let's keep this wisdom alive.